Looking at the cost of a Formula Landa like Ama Rangers and someone is new or upcoming, it begs the question, like, are videos even relevant?
Yeah.
Does an upcoming artist, specifically an upcoming artist, even need music videos?
That's a very good question.
Mwaiseni, welcome to Headlines. Kuna kutuchita breakdown ama stories ale pangama headlines Mozambian entertainment industry. Content ya pano tonda mchibe mbapa target audience yes Zambians na Malebanese abaku mkuba. So on the podcast today, I have Geo Musiwa. Geo, what's up? How's it going?
What's up? It's going good.
How do you describe yourself?
I describe myself as a creative. I think I'm multi-talented in different things. So I think the best definition of who I am is I am a creative. That's who I am. From music to video to just everything creative, I think I can do a lot. So pretty much that's me.
So I'd like to focus more on your video production side of things. First of all, what does it take to make a music video?
What does it take to make a music video?
Yeah.
Vision. I think vision is the most important thing because there's like videos that are big, which have very complicated things in them, but also videos that are small in terms of what's in them, but both are big, And so what makes them big is vision. So I think the first thing that artists should have is vision, and that can come from the director or it can come from the artist or both.
Yeah.
After that, money, boss. You need money to make it happen.
I saw an interesting comment on social media. Someone was saying videos are actually not that expensive. Zambians, you like exaggerating if into it's like equipment ya mtengo whereby video fenang ya equipment ya 50 kwacha. You can still get a proper video out of it. What's your say on that?
Partly right. And I think why they were saying videos are not that complicated is because maybe this person was thinking of videos that don't have a lot of things in them. What matters is the story. Let me give an example. Nigerian movies made waves across the continent of Africa because of the story. So story matters a lot. And so when you shoot a good story in a very simplistic way, it still makes waves.
Yeah.
But again, you could build a house the same way. The bigger your budget, the better the house. So even with videos, it works kind of the same. No matter how simple your concept is, it can always be made better with more money. Not that it will be more complex, but it will be just more beautiful. So with videos, music videos, it's pretty much the same thing. The higher your budget, the better each aspect of your video will be. So it is a non-complicated thing, but it depends on what your vision is. And really we make videos according to people's budgets.
Okay.
Yeah.
So umuntu ngarifo kuchita maintain high standard but on a minimal budget. How does someone go about it?
High standard minimal budget is not easy. Of course, first, vision is very important. What do you want to achieve? What's the story? Maximize on your resources. But now, how do you do that with a minimal budget? Don't think dinosaurs when you can only afford lizards. So look at your budget and say, okay, in this budget, what can I achieve? Don't try to do big things with small things. Try to maximize the small things to tell big stories. So if for example you say I have a 5 pin, how to do a video for 5 pin, it's a difficult one. Find some video director or video producer who wants to do you a favor. Maybe that's when it will be good. It's hard.
You're saying 5 pin is not acceptable. So what's the bare minimum for a music
bare
video?
Minimum for me, if I'm doing you a favor, bare minimum. Okay, not just for me, but for anyone. I think 10, maybe 5 to 10,000 if someone is doing you a favor. But for me, minimum is 15 to 25,000. That's the bare minimum. And in that one, I'm even changing as time goes by. I'm even changing what each amount can do because I'm also trying to maintain a standard. And something the artist should know is that you can come and say, this is my budget. Okay, this is what I can afford. So you come to my level. But the thing is, every video director also has a standard to maintain. So if that person comes and says, okay, lower your standard here, I may say no as a video director. It may be something I can shoot with that 10 pin you've got, but the problem is I also have a name that I want to maintain.
Yeah.
So that should be considered to say, okay, am I willing to bend? If I'm not, then it won't happen. So I think bare minimum should be, if someone's doing you a favor, 5 to 10 pin.
So do you think inflation has a role to play? Because these numbers, I think they seem larger than I remember.
Yeah.
So I'm now wondering, is it because the value of the kwacha dropped? So a 15 pin today was maybe a 5 pin 10 years ago?
Definitely. But I think the biggest determinant of why the numbers have gone up is not inflation, but it does play a role. Because now, Ubunga is how much? 300. But me as a student, Payunza, were getting 300 kwacha per month when we started out as students. So obviously things are more expensive, so they cost more. So inflation has to do with it. But also it's also the fact that the Zambian industry has realized that these things take a lot of effort and money. For example, the cameras we're using are now more complicated. So I think that because we've realized that, okay, you need certain kind of lights, because of that production value, the price has gone up. In fact, I think that the price has not even gone high enough for what people are spending on these things. It should be higher than it is. But of course, there's still a price, I think, for upcoming artists. People are in the middle and people have just made it internationally. So inflation part of it, but it's also just production value.
Looking at the cost of a Formuleranda like Ama Rangers and someone is new or upcoming, it begs the question, like, are videos even relevant? Does an upcoming artist, specifically an upcoming artist, even need music videos?
That's a very good question. My take on this is that social media has changed the game from movies to performances to music to like art. Everything has changed because of social media. So social media has been a game changer in such that for music, you don't necessarily need a music video. You could use your phone. So I believe that if you use your phone, make videos on TikTok and they trend, that will make your song big. For example, Mordecai came out and was big through a social media challenge. That fire song became fire because it was trending on social media before the music video. So the music video was just like icing on the cake. So an artist only needs a music video as far as that music video enhances their song. But otherwise, you don't need a music video if you can use your phone to make stuff that people relate to on social media. So
Argument. Mordecai's case. Don't you think the production value itself of that clip affected how it was received?
It did.
If it was shot on a
that could have still been shot on a phone. Argument. It still could have been shot on a phone. But do you think it would have
gotten the same reception though?
If the production value was lower, maybe not. So it does matter. So I think there was a lot of thought put into it by his team. So that helped.
So if you look at artists like Ebo Chungu, Exile, I don't know which other ones, they've not done as many music videos as...
Why are they still big?
Yeah, but then also, what does it look like when a music video pays back? What are the benefits or the return on investment of a well-done video?
Okay, so for me, let me say this. I don't have many music videos. I think many people have complained about how Ebo Chungu and Exile Israel now don't have a lot of videos. And what I've seen, for me, for example, when I did a music video challenge for myself in about 8 weeks, I had 4 to 5 music videos. It reached a point where when I'm getting into a bank, even the security guy knew me. We had the Gospel Hip Hop Festival the other day, and some random guy, those guys who clean cars from the street, he's like, yo, Geo, what's up? But it's because they've seen me on TV. I do walk the streets and I see people see me and recognize me because of the music videos. So for me, my videos would play a lot even on ZNBC local TV. So music videos pay back in that many people get to know you. Even those you don't expect to know you will know you. With social media, people follow you because they follow people of similar interests or similar things they like, right? So I think music videos show you that kind of payback. But now you as an artist, when you get recognition, you have to capitalize on that recognition and make money from it. Is it a concert? Is it merchandise? What is it? Is it just influence that gives you numbers and you can get endorsements? So that's what music videos do for you. So in Ebo Chungu's case, but at least Ebo Chungu has got some great music videos. But I always believe that many of the Zambian artists could have more, and those videos would take them further. Why? Look at Diamond Platinums, big artists, but they keep doing music videos. Chris Brown, independent artist, big artist, but he keeps doing music videos. There's a reason why they keep doing this. It's because no matter how big you can be, you can always be bigger. You can always be bigger than you are, and music videos are one of the ways that you get bigger. Not just social media trends of your content, but even just music video itself. There's something it says about you. It makes you a premium artist to some extent when you have music videos. Yeah.
So someone, let's say budget tairi sana, but you have proper music in terms of audio.
Yeah.
What's the safer thing to do? Maintain your good quality music
Without
and
the
not do
video.
videos,
Oh, yeah.
or risk showing a poor quality version of yourself visually that may rank your brand lower than if you didn't do the video.
Yeah. So that's a very good situation. Here's what I think a person like that should do. It's maximizing your resources. It's better you do a video, but vision. Remember, the question you ask first is like, what do you need to make a music video happen?
Yeah.
And it's vision. So if you can figure out the best way to tell your story in the most affordable way, do the music video. Because people think that every music video should be the same. So for me, even when I direct music videos, for example, when we did though this is a high budget video, the Chef 187 video with Chandana K, people who saw it were like, I thought they were going to make the girls dance. You see?
Yeah.
So the idea is vision is what makes this video unique. Let the girls do something else. It's not regular acting. It's not regular set design. So the idea is tell your story in the most creative way, in the most unobvious way, because that's when you have higher production value. So production value is not just the equipment. It's also how you tell your story.
Yeah. There's a saying in drug dealing society where they say don't get high on your on your
that
own
smile
supply.
looks like
No, I'm going to say, is that your principle when it comes to making videos?
No,
Is that why you don't
it's a
make
weakness.
Yeah.
For me, I would like to get high on my own supply, which is the music videos, but it's a weakness. Honestly, it's a weakness which I always tell myself I need to shoot, but for some reason I don't know. I think partly because I've come from a background where I'm always helping people, so I'm not used to helping myself. That's why the challenge I did years back worked, because even that helped me get customers in music videos. So it's not my principle. It's a weakness I'm hoping to work on. Yeah.
So one thing most people would want to know is, how did you end up working with Sampa The Great?
The story for working with Sampa The Great.
Yeah, take a shot.
Like this. So Magnus, obviously, Mag44 produced Sampa's album. And she needed to do a live performance for something called Black August, something for the States. And Magnus was going to call some other guy to do the video, but that guy had disappointed them. So I was like, Geo, can you do this? I was like, in my mind, I was like, I can't do this. I was like, okay, I can. And so I had to right there learn, how do I really do, like on a higher level.
Did you know how big she was then?
No. Yeah. I knew she was big then. But the first time I had the opportunity to work with Sampa The Great, she was wanted to do a show in Zambia. I had no idea. It was through Steven Mwale. But me, I was like, yeah. But now I knew.
So what gave you the confidence to pursue this particular project?
A principle. There's a principle I have that don't work alone. Get people who are really good at what you can't do. Put them on your team, and then it's going to work out. So every time I'm doing a video, especially if it's an emergency, I'm not as confident if I don't work with certain people. But if certain people show up, I'm like, it's going to happen. Even though you call me today and say 2 days from now, we need to shoot a video, which is what happened 3 days ago. I'll be like, okay, I can do it. But one person I was supposed to work with wasn't free. But when I realized they were available, I was like, it's going to really, really work. So that's the principle. That's where the confidence came from. I can put a team together, stuff can work, and I learn fast. And I think I have an eye for quality, and I try to make sure my quality control is on point. So that's how we ended up doing Black August, Sampa The Great, then Tiny Desk. So yeah, that's the story.
So in terms of payment, have you worked on a bigger project than the ones you did with Sampa The Great?
No, I have not. But what's come close would be, I think, what's come close is Chef 187.
Chef 187. What do the numbers look like?
Numbers look like this. For people like Chef, why am I saying this? Anyway, Chef 187, Chef 187, like the videos I've done have been over 55 pin per video, which is okay. You know. So Sampa The Great is, it costs
way more than that.
I don't know if it's way more, it's a little more, but it's not that.
Okay.
Yeah, like I've done Monje's video, which that's Sampa The Great's sister, which was more than that. Yeah. So I think that's how I put it. So I've got like low budget, medium, and high budget. So my low budget is like 15 to 25,000. Then somewhere like 30s, 35s to about 50 is like medium budget. Then I do like 60 pin going up is like on the higher budget. So
okay. By the way, a story or more of one of the stories is mentioned is don't disappoint people, because he was given the opportunity because someone else didn't deliver on something else. So meaning they'll give opportunities to other people if you disappoint them. So moving just slightly to the musical side of your career, you did a song with Killer called Chibeoleni, where you said, I'm Mr. Underrated. What made you feel underrated? What makes you feel underrated?
I think I feel underrated a lot of times. I feel underrated because that's what it's always been. I think I know what good music sounds like. I know what good beats sound like. And when I hear my music, I know this is good music. But I've just realized over the years that I usually go and recognize, and some people, the way the word works is people listen to who they want to. They listen to famous people sometimes, of course. So I've seen that sometimes I would do certain stuff and people don't really care so much about Geo, you know. So I have been skipped over for certain music opportunities here and there where I realize, okay, yes, they've heard my music is good, but somehow there's something about my music that certain people don't like. I don't know. But I think my music has stood out quite a bit over the years. But I think because I'm not as famous as certain people, you know, it will be ignored.
You guys won an award as Slice at some point.
What does that mean?
In terms of being underrated, where do you place that?
That was like over 10 years ago, and we don't take that for granted. So that was a dance. So at Slice, we won as a music/dance crew. So, yeah, I feel like time changed. That was 10 years ago, you know? So even the generation of people, listeners and performers has shifted over the years. So I'll say now, despite being recognized by certain people, because even like, okay, in video production, I did get an award for something, right? Let me just be truthful.
Yeah.
Awards in Zambia are good. They could be great. ZMAs were the best. They are gone. Let's not cry over that dead dog. So,
yeah,
those people who get nominated are associated with certain people. Disclaimer: Mike 44 is my brother. I love Mike 44.
Yeah,
we work together.
I wonder where this is going.
Yeah, but the people who get nominated even in these awards, for example, the Kwacha Music Awards, it's always people who are associated with Radio Cafe and Mike 44. That's what it's been over the years. Then slowly it's begun to change. Now we have Yellow Dove coming in, Geo Musiwa coming in for that kind of music. But really, it's like you have to be associated with a certain producer or a certain studio, and you will always be nominated. You know what I mean? So when I saw that, I was like, these guys don't do research to check out, okay, who else is actually making good music, making stuff work. So
is it association as much as it is they only pay attention to people associated to those people? Would you think they would know you but just not pay attention, or they don't even know you to begin with because they're only looking at that particular camp?
I actually don't know. I haven't thought about it that deep. But I mean, let me put it this way. Even when you're doing events, people are sitting around table. Who should we bring for this show? Immediately, answers that come up are 1, 2, 3. Then after that, they're like, I don't know who else. Another meeting, again, 1, 2, 3. So it's like, it's the only thing they've been exposed to.
Yeah.
And so because it's what they're exposed to, it's the go-to.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, oh, Mark 44 also featured this guy, so let's nominate him. And but how I think it should work, which is what I would do when I do events. And I always believe I'm not biased when it comes to doing events, but maybe I am and I don't recognize it. But we would say, okay, guys, let's look at the artists this year. Like when we do Jesus in the House at our church, Deliverance Church, we'll be like, okay, let's see who's new and who needs a chance. Then we'll say, okay, there's this guy. There was a time when Keisha Chilufya, for example, we're like, oh, I think she's going somewhere. Let's put her. Okay. Then there's Msenga. Is it Msenga or Msenga? Msenga, the poet. Msenga, we did a show with him. Oh yeah, there was Sticker coming up. Okay, let's put Sticker. So each year we have someone different. It's not like, okay, every year we need to have this artist. Every year, it's not like that for me.
Yeah.
So even when so every show that I've been an organizer on, my mindset is I need to sit down and see who is trying to do the work, trying to put in the work. And I think awards show people don't do that.
Okay. So does that mean you feel more respected as a music video producer or director than an artist?
I think right now I'm more respected as a video director than music. But even for the music, there's still a lot of people that really respect the art. And I think I've also sort of realized where my place is right now. Right now, I'm not a commercial gospel artist. I am a gospel artist who's partially or somewhat underground. So that's my place. But for music direction, I think that, the respect is there because I think this time, I've worked with names that are known. So when you see the video and you see the name, you're like, oh, I know this guy. Oh, I know this guy again. Oh, same guy. So I've been in people's faces there. So I would say I'm recognized more for video than audio. But even though I'm highly respected even for audio, it's not as big as I would have wanted it to be. But I recognize where I am. And I'm fine with it.
Did you at any point feel like, gospel, it's like, let me try and transition?
No.
Yeah.
I have felt like gospel is like hard to make commercial success, but never thought of transitioning. I think because of my foundation, like gospel music is who I am. But yeah, even now, man, sometimes I give up.
Yeah.
You give up, then you come back. But transitioning from gospel, never. I think we'll stay here.
So in terms of like the overall industry, Christian and gospel, what's your perception of the way things are?
Things are way better than they used to be in terms of quality, in terms of production. Usually gospel music has been ahead. Now it's no longer ahead of the mainstream side. So I think generally it's in a better place. When you see people like Pompi, who have just like done their thing. Pompi did a tour in Zambia, in East Africa. He's going to South Africa. I think that's a big thing. That never used to really happen. And this is not like traditional gospel music. And in as much as there's not such a big place for urban gospel music in Zambia, the ones who are doing urban gospel music are the ones who are, making things happen. So Pompi is more on the urban, but at least, of course, it's tapping into different kinds of audience, the older, the younger. But I think it's in a better place than it used to be. So,
what makes you feel like the traditional gospel gets more?
It does, man. You submit. It does. Radio. Let me give you an example. When I submit my song to radio, it will play a bit. And someone was honest from one radio station, and said, okay, because of the genre, it won't play as much. So can you pay this amount so that we play your song 3 times a day?
Wow.
So that's the situation. So the truth is there is no place for gospel, especially gospel hip hop. The urban one, hip hop is like here. The urban R&B and whatever is in the middle, but what's at the top is just the traditional one. If you check Radio Christian Voice and all the comments when people say gospel song, which one are you feeling the most? It's usually the traditional-ish sounds or the more contemporary sounds. So the kind of music that we do, we're still not yet there.
So it's the market the audience that prefers the traditional more than the urban.
So the plan should be either you fight that or you work smartly to incorporate it into your music also.
So if you were to name drop, niwe saba 5 aba icham Christian na gospel, aba lemeka promising.
promising
now from the last 5 years?
From the last 5 years, one who I don't know where to place for this gospel or not, but great music, Suli the rapper. My number one on my list usually has been Legend Son. This is always hard. Always hard, man.
Only 3 more to go.
So Legend Son, Suli the rapper. What's her name? She's Lozzy, I think. That girl, Before I Die. Jane, but that's not the full name. It's Jane Lilato. Yeah. Jane Lilato. Wow, I can't. 3 names. You see, we have a problem. We have a problem we have a problem in Zambian gospel music. See how hard it is to name people.
But then again, do you think that's a you problem or them problem? Like the same argument with the events. They are not seeing you guys because they have a certain scene that they focus on. Is it that you're not focusing on where those kids are found, or that there are no kids at all to mention?
So I mean, where are kids found? It's social media. I'm always on social media, but I don't see Jack.
See them.
Yeah, so I don't see it. Yeah. So it could be a combination of a me problem and them problem. Me problem because I'm maybe not looking hard enough. Them problem because are they actually promoting this stuff? Is it something you can see anywhere? So I don't know. I think artists need to be a bit more driven. People need to be like the Kopala guys. Like people from Kopala just push. Let me give you an example. Danny TSG, you see him everywhere. Like him or not, you will see a Danny TSG thing somewhere. So being driven like that, I think, helps.
What would you say is the future of music videos?
They're going to get... It's like they're kind of simple, then they're going to get more complex in terms of production value. But generally, I think we're going to start making stuff on our phones more than like traditional cameras. I think that's what's going to happen. For example, the new iPhone came out, and the features they're boasting about is like it can shoot this, what is called ProRes RAW, right? And it can shoot like these 4K. I don't if it shoots above 4K, but you have videos with high definition. If you attach a lens to it, you can connect straight to a hard drive. Just those small features. And you have phone gimbals. I think people, once they unpack the power of every new phone, three iPhones from now, even though I'm stopping to believe in the iPhone, 3 Galaxies from now, Samsung, you'll be shooting music videos and movies. You just have 2 phones on set or 1 phone, and you're working with that. So I think that's the future. AI is going to play a bigger role, because we're already seeing that. We could do an interview here and you place a flower, place your grandmother in the corner there, and it will look like she's reading a newspaper, but it's AI, so that is the future. But as that gets complicated, it means that even the traditional side is going to get more complex. But what that means is that if an artist can't afford that expensive video, they have access to a phone. They may not even buy the iPhone. They'll just say, yo, I have a friend who has this new iPhone 17. They borrow it, they shoot a video, they use AI, they're done.
Why have you lost faith in the iPhone?
Why have I lost faith? Because they're boasting about new features that Samsung has always had. I still use the iPhone. But man, I'm tired of like these new announcements which just look like they're new. Then you realize, wait, Samsung has had it all along. What the heck, So I've sort of lost faith in that. But really, the biggest thing that makes me not a fan of iPhone is Siri. Look, if I'm driving, I don't want to look at my phone. So what I used to do is I'll just press that side button and call Able to call Able. They will call who? Open this song on Spotify. Open this thing on whatever. It happens. Now I'll be like, call Able. Then something went wrong. Oh, call my wife. Calling Julie. I was like, listen, get your life in order. So I think the more you update the iPhone, it just becomes more whack, because they want you to update. But I can't keep on updating every 2 years. That's not me. So I'm done. I'm done with it. But the problem is I don't have enough money, so we'll stick to the iPhone until we have money.
Okay, so for video, right?
Yeah.
What's the future and relevance of platforms like TV or even radio also? What's their future?
Globally, I think TV and radio are like phasing out faster. Traditional TV and traditional radio are phasing out faster than in Zambia. For Zambia, I think it's still relevant. Like I give an example of how, for me, when I started this challenge for myself, I was recognized everywhere I go. It still happens a bit now, but those videos are now 3 years old. So it's, time has passed. So it's still relevant in Zambia. So we need to recognize where we are. So traditional radio is still relevant, but for the kind of music that you do, or depending on the kind of music that you do, you will find what's relevant for you. So for more urban music, the newer audience, they're not listening to traditional radio as much. They're not watching traditional TV as much. So when you recognize who your audience is, you will realize that maybe Zambia is sort of in the middle. So they're still relevant, but maybe not as much. But if you think about it, if you are reaching out to 18 to 24-year-olds, they're young people, even 16 to 18-year-olds, traditional TV can still be relevant in a place like Zambia because there's a 16, 17-year-old out there who doesn't have Netflix, DSTV, they watch ZNBC. So they'll see you on TV. Maybe the only issue is, are you going to travel to that village to do a concert? Are they going to get a phone to go to Spotify to listen to your music? So it's a bit tricky there. So I think generally they are relevant, but not as much as they used to be in the past. And for an artist, depending on who your audience is, where your audience are, you will find that you may still need to use traditional TV and radio to still work to some extent. But social media and subscription-based platforms are the future, the present and the future.
How does someone get to work with you?
If anybody want to work with me, inbox me on social media. It's Geo Musiwa. Twitter, it's now X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. That's where you find me, Geo Musiwa, on each platform. Inbox me, and if you want to do a video, let's chat there. I'll let you
respond to all your messages?
Yes, if they're not weird. There are these people who always say stuff like, God told me to inbox you. I'm like, God told you, but he didn't tell me, so I don't know. People come to you like, oh, God told me that you're going to produce my music. Yeah, but did God tell you that you're going to pay for it?
Yeah.
So if those weird messages come in, I'll respond after a long while, not immediately.
What's the best way in which people should approach you?
Say your name. Don't ask me for my number immediately. Let's have the chat on the social media platform. Then when I ask you to send me your stuff there. What people do is they say, oh, my name is blah, blah, blah. I do music. Can I have your number so I send you my music? I'm not going to send you my number. I'll say, send me the stuff right there. Then if I'm interested, I will give you my number. That's when we'll pick it up from there. So the best thing is introduce yourself nicely. Introduce me to your music. Have it in order. If you just say, my artist name is, let's say, Cape Snooze or whatever. If I search for you on any social media platform, I should find you. If I search for you on Spotify, I should find you, and it should be in order. So if your stuff is not in order, your stuff is on getmytracksfree.com, then I know you're not in order. I need to see an artist who's got a catalog in order.
Wait, so does that mean if someone has the money, they approach you, but you seem to see that they don't have their stuff organized, you wouldn't take them on as a client?
It would take me a while to take them on as a client because I want to work with people that are serious or look serious. And of course, music should be nice. That's the most important thing. If that person comes up, they don't look organized, but the music has potential and they have a manager, they're going somewhere, I'll probably take them on as a client. But the most important thing is the music should be good. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any last words for the viewers?
Yeah, last words is know who you are, know your worth, live out who you are. Don't be someone else. Do whatever you do excellently, because when you do it excellently, it will pay you, but it will impact lives. So yeah, that's it for me.
Naloromba kufya obwerero twakibompya sana ekisungu mu episode so mwewale banizi n'amazambians mwalaterera kofi.